Thank you very much, Mr. President, and my good friend Bill, for this unexpected and unearned degree from Monmouth College. It is a great honor. It is also a great honor to be part of this celebration of achievement, especially since I didn't have to go to any classes, write any papers, or take any examinations. I know several have already mentioned this, but I don't think it can be overdone, is to express the appreciation of you, the graduates, for those who made your graduation possible. You are graduating today from one of the most historic and prestigious liberal arts colleges in our country. Each of you has worked hard to be here this afternoon, but you didn't do it alone. Behind you were family, friends, and supporters who assisted you in reaching this milestone. And so I would ask you, the graduates, to rise and show your love and appreciation to your mothers on this Mother's Day, and to your fathers, and don't forget June the 16th, siblings, spouses, especially grandparents, and friends who have walked this path with you. Please express your appreciation. Thank you. And as you resume your seat, I want to start by scratching one misconception. That misconception is that you are not special, that you are not exceptional. Those were the words of my nephew-in-law, David McCullough, Jr., in his 2012 commencement address in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Its contrarian message received substantial attention from the New York Times to CNN and to the blogosphere. Excuse me if I'm being a little commercial, but it will soon be the theme of a book by David called The Chief Element. The book's success will help pay the tuition, room and board, and books for a whole pack of grand-nephews and nieces. David's thesis starts with the irrefutable facts that you today are one of 3,668,000 graduates in the United States class of 2013. You are one of almost 7 billion humans on this planet. This planet is one of an incalculable number of spatial objects in the universe. In stating that the graduates to whom he was speaking were not special, David comments on our tendency to rank accolades over achievement, using the example, is the building of a Guatemalan medical clinic more about embellishing the application to graduate school or the well-being of Guatemalans? McCullough lamented the tendency to live through dreams of the future rather than drain the glass of each day's adventures. Those dreams of the future too often overwhelm full engagement with the only period of your life that you can really influence, the here and now. With deference to David McCullough, I say he is wrong. The class of 2013 at Monmouth College, you are special. What are some of those things that make you exceptional? Well, one, it is my prophecy that you're going to do well financially. You will probably be able to pay off your college loans in no more than 20 years. Warren Buffett describes the most important event in anyone's life as the womb lottery. 1 out of every 20 babies born in the world is an American. Those of you who were in that 1 out of 20 won a substantial part of the womb lottery. You were also born to nurturing families who provided and supported you in attaining a good education and a beginning for life. And you were born into an era when your aptitudes honed at Monmouth, are in high demand. Mr. Buffett correctly observed that had he been born 5,000 years earlier, with his slow foot speed and awkward manner, he would have been eaten by some wild beast for lunch. Fortunately, Mr. Buffett was born at a time when his talents for critical thinking, quantitative analysis, and economics allowed him to eat other people's lunch. On Friday, the incredible Center for Science and Business building was dedicated. This building is a symbol of Monmouth College's commitment to the fusion of technology and liberal arts, a critical factor in your future success. You've arrived at a time when a command of cosmopolitan global interrelationship and a mastery of technology that continues to evolve at warp speed are the aptitudes for financial success. Humanscale Colleges are also another benefit for success. I graduated from a university which at the time I graduated had 10,000 students, and today is approaching 55,000 students. I am proud of that university, but I recognize that one of the keys to success in this era is the ability to work effectively in small groups, to share intimately the information, values, observations, prophecies of a small group of people in order to achieve a common objective. That is one of the things that you have acquired at Monmouth College. Unfortunately, in some states, including mine, there is a move to evaluate and fund institutions of higher education on the job preparedness of their graduates. It is referred to as the commoditization of higher education. You are special because Monmouth College has prepared you not only for financial success, but also for the pursuit of happiness. The title of David McCullough's book, The Chief Element, is from the Greek philosopher and playwright Antigone. Wisdom is by far the chief element of happiness. Wisdom is by far the chief element of happiness. You are special because Monmouth College has enlarged your wisdom toolbox. Your grounding in the liberal arts and humanities will contribute to a happy life through wisdom. You are special because of Monmouth College's commitment to citizenship. Frankly, there are many colleges and universities which profess to have a commitment to citizenship. You, at Monmouth College, give life to that commitment. President Thomas Jefferson said that a fundamental purpose of education is to inform the citizens of their rights and responsibilities and to equip them with the competencies to fulfill those rights and responsibility to their nation and to their neighbors. Our democracy is not a spectator sport. Self-government will only contribute to our national goals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness if we are all participating on the field. Robert Maynard Hutchins, another great American and distinguished president of the University of Chicago, observed that the death of democracy is not likely to be an assassination from ambush. It will be a slow extinction from apathy, indifference, and undernourishment. And friends, I would say on this beautiful afternoon that American democracy is in trouble. I would add to President Hutchins' list of perils polarization, excessive partisanship, and the tendency of too many Americans to withdraw from civic and public participation so as to avoid being sullied by the dirty business of politics. Fundamental matters on our national agenda balancing the budget, investing in a 21st century infrastructure, assuring that we are competitive in the global economy, and what I think is most important for our future, educating young Americans with the same excellence as those who will graduate today from Monmouth College, is critical. These and other national priorities are falling victims to a dysfunctional, broken process. America, unfortunately, is drifting, not leading. But friends, look at these graduates. These young men and women are our hope. They have been prepared by Monmouth College to provide the spirit and the leadership for the future of our great country. Monmouth College has been faithful to its guiding principle to inspire students to lead and serve society. Through Monmouth's capstone civic engagement initiative, all graduates have participated in learning and service programs. Monmouth College graduates have lived the Jeffersonian principle of active citizenship. And many of you have shared your civic values and skills even before you graduate. The students of accounting professor Judy Peterson's Citizenship course prepared nearly 900 tax returns for low-income individuals and families in the Monmouth area. These students were making use of what they had learned in the classroom to know, understand, and serve this community. Vincent Peluso, a graduating senior, has donated over 300 hours of community service this academic year to the YMCA's Kids Against Hunger and Special Olympics. Vincent was recognized for his exemplary service through the Good Neighbor Award. And students of Professor Bridget Draxler's Citizenship course on local heroes, Meg Grazina, Katie Jerevek, and Kyle McEwen, researched the cultural influence Mexican immigrants were having on the Monmouth community. Their work will be part of the Local Heroes mobile app, which will be launched next year. You will show your loyalty to Monmouth College and your personal exceptionality by applying the riches you have acquired here to continue personal growth and service through public and civic leadership. If I could share a few lessons that I have learned, one of those is to be nice to everybody. It's the right thing to do, and it'll make you feel better, and often will result in exceptionally good outcomes. In the fall of my sophomore year at the University of Florida, I was walking down the steps of the administration building. Walking up the steps was a tall, beautiful brunette who I remembered from a double date in high school. I greeted her. "Adele, what are you doing here?" She replied that she was having trouble with her freshman physical science course and was anxious to get a tutor. Now, what is a gentleman supposed to do? I told her with appropriate modesty that I had taken that same course and had made an A, and that I would be happy to be her tutor. She accepted, and now she has been my loving tutor and best friend for 54 years. I believe that life is a pyramid. When you're born, you have a wide base of almost unlimited options and alternatives. As you mature, you make decisions that cause your pyramid to begin to narrow. A goal in life should be to keep your pyramid as wide as possible, as long as possible. Test life. If you worked at a job that you liked, had a good relationship with your employer, he or she was willing to ask you to come back to work again, resist the temptation to do the same thing over. Challenge yourself to do something new. It will broaden your personal toolbox of experiences. Travel and get to know the rest of the world and its diverse cultures. And I'm going to tell you that in spite of my previous story, I am not going to focus excessively on romance. But let me say that 2 years after that chance meeting on the steps, Adele and I were married. She was 20, I was 22. Our experience is that a lifelong partnership with another human being offers the greatest opportunities for personal growth and happiness. I sincerely hope that each of you will find a partner who can help you realize your potential. As well as keeping the walls of your pyramid wide, look for chances to expand the quantity and quality of personal experiences. There are lots of ways to learn: lectures, books, television, internet. In my opinion, the most impactful of those is learning by doing. When I was in the Florida State Senate, I observed significant inadequacies in the teaching of citizenship in Florida high schools. After conveying these concerns to a group of civics teachers, one of them challenged me to walk the walk, to take my complaints into the classroom. As she put it, "You politicians are always telling us how to do our job better when you don't know what you're talking about. And the only way to find out is to go in the classroom." I thought she was talking about a couple of hours on Tuesday afternoon, so I said yes. She called a week later and said that she had worked it out, that I was to report to room 207 at Carroll City Senior High School, an almost inner-city school in Miami, on the day after Labor Day, where I would be teaching civics for 18 weeks. Those 18 weeks turned out to be transformational. I did, in fact, learn more about students, teachers, administrators, parents through those 18 weeks in the classroom than I had sitting through any Senate Education Committee hearings. But the most important thing I learned was the difference between learning by secondhand and learning by doing. It became an obsession. During my final 30 years in public service, I took over 400 jobs held by everyday Floridians. Those work days have been among the most rewarding, joyful, and learning times of my life. A few examples: as a nursing home orderly working in an environment that reeked of urine, I asked my supervisor how he was able to get up every day and come back to that same job. His response: "I figure that if God let these folks live so long, He must really love them. I can love them too." At a landfill north of St. Petersburg, I squatted for lunch next to the bulldozers, caterpillars, of course, that 4 women and I were driving to pack down garbage. One of the young women told me of the pain she had felt that morning with the choice of taking a sick child to the health clinic or earning the $75 she needed to pay the rent. That, friends, is a practical course in ethics. This last observation has been made previously by Kevin and others, and that is to let passion be your guide. Don't let dollars get in the way of what your heart tells you is your true calling. Bill Gates is one of the richest men in the world. He's a breakthrough scientist in computer software, founder of a company which provided the operating systems and software for many of your PCs and laptops. He's been richly rewarded and recognized. I suspect, however, that 100 years from now, Mr. Gates will be better known and appreciated for what he has done with his philanthropy to make the world a healthier and safer place. Bill Gates is following his passion. Graduates, Monmouth College, 2013, you are special. You are exceptional. Congratulations to you and your support team of family and friends. Continue to nourish and grow your specialness and share it with the world. Congratulations. Thank you.